All right, this is going to be a review of how you write formulas from names. We've learned nomenclature, and that is the act of, sorry, I can't write and talk at the same time very well. Nomenclature is naming the compounds. So in the case of writing a formula from the name, they're going to give you something like carbon dioxide, and you're going to have to take it from the name into the symbol instead of from the symbols into the names, which is what we've been working on. So in the case of carbon dioxide, you should be recognizing that there's a prefix here, and when you have a prefix, we've used the prefix just to tell us how many of that particular substance it is. So carbon is C, and oxide is oxygen. It just has the IDE ending, and we know that there are two of them, so we put CO2. In another case, if you had something like hydrochloric acid, those are just, you're going to have them memorized. So hydrochloric acid is just HCl. There's nothing to do there. The harder ones are maybe the ones with the polyatomics, like calcium hydroxide. If you were asked to name calcium hydroxide, you would have to think of it as two parts. So the calcium we know is Ca, and hydroxide, if you look on your polyatomic list, is OH. Now, that's the first part. The second part, so the first part is coming up with the symbols. And the second part is finding the charges for those substances. So calcium, if you look on your periodic table, is a +2, and hydroxide, if you look on your polyatomic list, is a -1. So in order to write the formula correctly, we still have to cross these charges. You still have to make all the net charges equal 0. So when you cross the charges, remember you're going to take your 2 and put it over here, and your 1, and it goes over there. So when you rewrite this, you have calcium, and it gets a 1, but we don't write the 1. And then we have our hydroxide, which gets a 2, but because it is 2 capital elements, you have to put it in Roman numerals, or in parentheses like that. So the correct symbol for calcium hydroxide is CaOH in parentheses 2. Another example might be something like iron 3 chloride. CHLORIDE. Okay, iron 3 chloride. This Roman numeral tells us the charge for iron, because iron can have more than one charge. You have to indicate it with the Roman numeral. So iron is Fe, and this Roman numeral is telling us that it is a +3. We look up chloride, it's Cl, and we know its charge is still -1. So to continue, we found the symbols. So now we have to cross our charges. So the 3 will go over here, the 1 goes over there. When I write this correctly, I get FeCl with a 3. When you are going from names to symbols, you have to write the symbol first and then cross the charges if appropriate. The only time that you don't do that is when you have prefixes or it's an acid. Okay? You do not cross the charges in these cases. Okay?